Hey, gang. Man, there have been times in my life where I have been crazy busy. When I was a college student, if you can believe this, I had two different jobs. I worked in the cafeteria and I was a teaching assistant. I was a discipleship small group leader for a group of men. I wrote a weekly column for the school newspaper, and as if that weren't enough, I started an underground newspaper with a group of friends. Every Sunday afternoon, I would gather with a different group of friends and pray for revival for my college campus. I was involved in Baptist Student Union. I was a leader in my Sunday school class on Sunday mornings at the church I attended and belonged to. Once a month, I would get together with an entirely different group of friends and we would do a Sunday morning worship service for an old person's home. And then I was also a founding member of College Democrats and College Republicans, and I can explain that later. And if that weren't enough, I was also heavily involved in the Wheaton College Wind Ensemble. In my spare time, I dated Jenny, whom I later married, and whom I later found out her love language is quality time. Guess what we fought about in our early days? Yeah. Maybe you've been crazy busy. I've been crazy busy at other times in my life, and here's what I found. There are some things and have been some things in my heart that have driven me to be crazy busy that are unhealthy and dangerous. For starters, I've had this thing in me where I'm a bit of a people pleaser, so that when people ask me to do something or commit to something, I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can help. Yes, I'm there. Yes, I'll take care of that because I want them to like me. I want them to approve of me. Only later on, I'd be banging my head on the steering wheel and saying, Max, why did you agree to that? Can you relate? Kevin DeYoung says that there are some killer P's in our life that can trip us up and drive us to be crazy busy doing things that God never asked us to do. Another thing in my life has been proving myself. A lot of my early GPA when I was a student was because I wanted my parents in the world to see, hey, Max Vanderpool's awesome. Look, I can get a 4.0. Maybe you can relate. There are all kinds of killer P's. There's pity. Some of us do things because we tell a friend all the stuff we're involved in, and they look us in the eye and they say, oh, you poor thing. And we think, whoa, this feels awesome. There's proving yourself. There's pats on the back. We do stuff because people look at us as a hero because we've taken on something no one else wanted to do. There's poor planning. We agreed to do 5 things on the same day, and not even Superman could pull it off, and he's faster than a speeding bullet. There's all kinds of killer P's. And believe it or not, it's not a new problem. The first king of Israel, King Saul, suffered from people pleasing. We see in an encounter he had with Samuel the prophet after Saul disobeyed God, Saul begging Samuel. He says this, please, please, Samuel, honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel by coming back with me so that I may worship the Lord our God. In other words, please, even though you just told me that God has rejected me as king because I disobeyed God, please just walk with me in front of all the people so that they don't know, so that they don't figure it out. Because I want them to like me. I want them to approve of me. Saul's insecurities drove him. We see in a preceding few verses, Saul says this, yes, I've sinned. I've disobeyed your instructions. I was afraid of the people. Maybe some of you have been there. The remedy to that is to allow God to define who you are and what you're worth. Not other people, but God. So there are a couple of assignments as we start off our series on Crazy Busy. Assignment number 1, you got to figure out why you do the things you do. Why do I do these things? What's driving me to commit to 1, 2, 3, ABC? The other thing is to do a simple time audit. And I'm going to post some links below for some apps that you can get for your smartphone. And you just track where your time goes for a week or for a month. And at the end of it, you can look back and go, oh, that's where my time is going. That's who's getting my time. And it can empower you to go, you know what? I want to tweak some things. I want to change some things because that's not what I want. I believe you can do this, and I believe God wants to set you free the way He's setting me free from stuff like people pleasing and the killer peas that take us to places where we just don't even want to be. God can do that if you allow Him to define who you are and what you're worth. I believe in you guys, and I hope you have an awesome week.